Okay, so yesterday we have seen the introduction about the what is Python, and so we also seen the how to install Python. So we have two different ways. One is from python.org, download the latest version. That is one thing. Or download the latest Anaconda version. So in the Anaconda distribution, it contains different kind of IDEs and so if you are installing this Anaconda version, so you need not to install this Python version separately and okay. So it contains different kind of IDEs. IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. Okay. So here, let us see. IDE stands for IDE. Integrated Development Environment. So what is this IDLE? Integrated Development Learning Environment. Learning Environment. See, whenever you install this Python version, that time you will see IDLE. That time you will see IDLE. Now see, if you are installing normal Python version, so here you will see something like IDLE. IDLE stands for Integrated Development Learning Environment. Okay, so learning environment. So here, just you are going to give the commands, and then it is showing like a kind of like command. What is that? Command prompt like this for the Python. Okay, so but this is just for learning purpose, like people are trying to use it. But while working in the companies and projects, people are trying to use different kind of IDEs. Different kind of IDEs. Okay. So here, whenever you install this, what is that? Anaconda version, it consists of different kind of IDEs are available. Okay. So you can choose either Jupyter Notebook or PyCharm or Spider or VS Code or anything. You know about this VS Code a lot. Just a second. Okay. Right. So here we can use like a PyCharm community. So just click on this PyCharm. So now it is opening this PyCharm community. Okay. So what you can do is after opening this PyCharm community, so this is also like an IDE. This is also like an IDE and okay. Right. So what you can do is go to file, create a fresh project, new project, create a fresh project. Okay. So here I'm just giving like the project name is Python underscore tutorial. Okay. Right. So by default, it is pointing to the Python 3.13 detected in the system. Okay. Okay. So you can have this. You can by default it is pointing this version. Okay, click on create. So do you want to open this project in new window or this window? Okay, what I want to do is I'll try to replace this whatever I already have it. So I'll try to make it a fresh one. Okay, right. Now see, this is in the left hand side, you created this project. In the left hand side, you created the project. This is the area where you are going to develop your programs in. Okay. So what you can do on the Anaconda distribution, just click on PyCharm community, click on launch. It is trying to open this IDE and it is trying to open this IDE. Okay. So hereafter, I'm going to use this PyCharm community for to develop the programs. Okay. Yeah. So any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Right. So this is PyCharm community. Okay. Right. So now let us see some basic programs. Okay. Identifiers. So the first one is we will discuss about identifier. So what is meant by identifier? Right click. Let us create a new file. File name is called notes.md. Okay. So here we will discuss about identifiers. So what are these identifiers? Identifiers are nothing but a name in Python program is called identifier. A name in Python program. So generally you are giving name to variables, functions. Next, variables, names, functions, array names, like this you are giving, like for constants. For each and everything it has a name. Okay. So a name in a Python program is called identifier. A name, a name in Python program is called identifier. Okay. A name in a Python program is called identifier. So generally you are providing the names to variables, functions, constants. For each and everything you are providing. Okay, it can be a class name or function name or module name or variable name, anything. Right? So here you are providing name to classes, class, module, functions, variables, etc. Okay. So you are providing a name to a class, module, functions, variables, etc. Okay. Right. Okay. So now see, identifiers. What are all the rules? Like identifiers like alphabet symbols, either uppercase or lowercase. Identifier starts with underscore. Then it indicates it is a private. If any identifier starts with underscore symbol, then it indicates it is a private. Identifier should not starts with a digit. Identifiers are case sensitive. Basically, Python is a case sensitive programming language. And we cannot use reserved words as the identifiers. We cannot use reserved words as the identifier. Okay, there is no length limit for the Python identifiers. While providing the name, it can be like any length. There is no restrictions to provide this. Only the identifier must be only this much length. And okay, but it is not recommended to use too lengthy identifiers. Okay, dollar symbol is not allowed in the Python. Dollar symbol is not allowed in the Python. Okay, so what are all the rules of the identifier? What are all the rules of the identifier? See this one. Identifier, alphabet symbols, either uppercase or lowercase. If identifier is starts with underscore, then it is indicates it is a private. Identifier should not starts with the digits. Identifier should not starts with digits. Identifiers are case sensitive. We cannot use reserved words. We will see what are all the different kind of reserved words. It contains some 30 plus reserved words in that. Okay, in that we have seen one example called a def. Actually, this def keyword which is using to define the function sender. Okay, so we cannot use this reserved word as the identifier. There is no length limit for the Python identifiers, but not recommended to use too lengthy, too lengthy, too lengthy identifiers. Okay, right. So dollar symbol is not allowed in the Python. Dollar symbol is not allowed in the Python. Okay, right. So can you tell me which of the, can you tell me which of the identifiers are valid? Can you tell me which of the identifiers are valid? 1 second, I am showing. Can you tell me which of the identifiers are valid? Which of the identifiers are valid? Okay, so which of the identifiers are valid? See, as per this rule, starts with letter 1 to 3. Here, the identifier should not starts with the digit. So this is invalid. This one, total 1 to 3, you can starts with alphabet symbol, either uppercase or lowercase. Okay, this is valid. This one, Java to share. In between, you can have the numbers under, and it starts with letters only. So there is no doubt. It is also valid. Cash, CASH cash,
Invalid.
that is fine. But here you have dollar symbol.
Dollar.
Dollar is not allowed. Then underscore ABC underscore ABC underscore. So The
Valid.
identifier you can starts with underscore and all, so it is treated as private. Yes, it is also valid. This
Invalid.
def is a reserved word. It's a keyword.
Invalid.
Okay, so it is invalid. And what about if?
Invalid.
This is also reserved word, so it is also
Reservoir.
invalid. Invalid. Okay, right. Okay, right. Okay. So identifier starts with underscore symbol. Then it indicates it is the private. In object-oriented programming, we have different kind of access modifiers like public, private, protected, like this. So if any identifier starts with underscore, single underscore, it is treated as private. If identifier starts with double underscore symbols, then it is indicating that strongly private identifier. If it is representing with double underscore. If the identifier starts and ends with the two underscores symbols, then identifier language defined as the special name, which is also known as magic method symbol. Which is also known as a magic method. So if the identifier starts and ends with the two underscore symbols, in between whatever the text is there, that is a magic method. That is magic method. Okay, right. Okay, so let me have this notes to you. Okay, so if identifier starts with underscore symbol, then it is treated as private. If identifier starts with double underscore, then it is strongly private identifier. Strongly private identifier. Okay. If the identifier starts and ends with two underscore symbols, then the identifier language is defined as a special name, which is also known as magic method. Which is also known as magic method. Okay, right. Okay. So using this identifiers only, we are going to develop our programs. Okay. Now, what are all the reserved words? What are all the reserved words? What are all the reserved words? Okay. See, reserved words means in Python, some words are reserved to represent some meaningful or functionality. Whenever you are specifying reserved words, it has meaning. Let's say you have def. What is the use of def? Using this def, you are creating the functions. If there is if is also reserved word. Using this if, you are working on conditional statements. Okay. In Python, some words are reserved to represent some meaning or functionality. Such type of words are called reserved words. In Python, totally there are 33 reserved words are available in Python. 33. Like true, false, none, and, are, not, is. So like this, we have some 33 reserved words are there. All reserved words in Python contains only alphabet symbols. It contains only alphabet symbols. Except the following three reserved words, all contains only lowercase letters. What are all the other three reserved words which are all specifying in capital letters? Like true, false, none. These three are starting with the capital letters, and remaining things, everything in the small letters. Okay. So what are all the reserved words? If a reserved word, or if in Python, if some words has a meaning or functionality. In Python, some words are reserved to represent some meaning or functionality. Such type of words are called reserved words. Such type of words are called reserved words. Okay. So totally there are 33 words are there. Totally there are 33. Okay. So in that, all reserved words are in alpha characters. All reserved words in Python contains only alphabet symbols. Just a second. Okay. Right. So totally there are 33 words are there. So except this true, false, none. See that the remaining words, the remaining 30 words are in small letters. That means lowercase letters and then alphabets only. There is no kind of like special symbol. Okay. See, example, if you take this, A is equal to true and A is equal to true. So in Python, this statement is not valid because in other programming languages, you have this word, but in Python, this is the word correct. To represent the true, this is the word we are specifying it. Okay. So except the following reserved words, all contains only lowercase alphabet symbols. Okay. Right. Okay. So there are 30 keywords like, okay. Right. Okay. So next is data types. Next is data types. Okay. So data types. Right click. Let us create a folder. Okay. So that is like programs. Let us keep it like this. So here under that, we will start developing different kind of programs. So data types. So what is this data type? Data type represents the type of data present inside a variable. Whenever you are creating a variable, inside the variable, what kind of data you are keeping it. So the data type represents the type of data present inside the variable. Okay. See here, you are specifying data types. Okay. So what is the data type? Data type represents the type of data present inside the variable. In Python, we are not required to specify the type explicitly like C, C++, Java. Yesterday I told you, Python is a dynamically typed programming. At the time of creation of the variable, you need not to specify what kind of data type it is. So in Python, we are not required to specify the type explicitly. Based on value provided, the type will be assigned automatically. Hence, the Python is dynamically typed language. Okay. So the data type represents the type of data present inside the variable. In Python, we are not required to specify the type explicitly. Based on the value, the type would be decided automatically. Hence, Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Hence, Python is a dynamically typed programming language. See, Python contains some inbuilt data types. Python contains some inbuilt data types like integer, float, complex, bool, string, bytes, byte array, range, list, tuple, set, frozen set, dict, none. So these are all the different kind of inbuilt data types. Okay. So we'll see practically. Okay. So Python contains several inbuilt functions. These are all the data types. Some 14 inbuilt data types plus Python contains some several inbuilt functions also. Inbuilt functions also. Okay. Now see, what is the use of, okay, I'm creating one sample file. I'm creating one test file. Okay. So how would you create a test file? Right now, programs, new, and see here you have to choose the option called Python file. You have to choose the option called Python file. Okay. So here provide the file name. Let's say here I'm giving the file name as data type. Here I'm giving the file name as data type. So whenever you are giving the file name, automatically it is creating the extension with the .py. It is creating the file name as .py. Okay. See, what is the use of this type function? What is the use of this type function? See, here x is equal to 10. I have given a variable is x. No need to specify that data type like C, C++, Java. So here I'm just printing print type, print type x. Yeah. Print type x. So whenever you are using this function print type x, what is the use of this type? Using this type function, you are going to check what is the data type of this particular variable. So how to execute this file or how to execute these two lines? See, there is a current file. There is something like run data type.py. So it is executing this project. So, okay, click on it. Now see here, class integer. So this is integer type. Okay. So to check the data type, what kind of data type it is, there is a function called the type. Okay. So here each and everything is representing with class. Okay. This is integer class. Okay. So what is the use of type? Type is to check the type of variable. Okay. Then let's say str is equal to hello. In the memory, see here again, I should not use str. Why? Shadows built-in name str. That means what is this? What it is showing? Actually, str is the data type name. That means to represent string, we are using str. And here I am using str as the variable name. it is not giving any compilation issue, but it is saying like shadows built in name str. So let us do one thing. So instead of this, you can have like uh, string. You can have this string. So this string is my variable name. Okay, hello. In the memory where this variable is located. That means I want to get the memory address. I want to get the memory address. So for that, what you are going to use? There is a method called ID. There is memory called ID. So here I try to use string. For that, I'm trying to use ID of string. What is the use of this ID method? It is getting the memory address location. Okay. So if you're trying to print it, now see, so this is the address location of the string where it is storing it. Okay. So what is the use of this ID? To get the address of the object. To get the address of the object. You know that the use of the print method. Using this print method, you can print the output in the console. You can print the output in the console. Okay. See, we can use int data type to represent whole numbers. That means without having decimals, you can have this integral values. To represent these integral values, we are using int data type. We are using this int data type. Okay. So a is equal to 10. That is okay. When I print a type of a, it is saying class int. Okay. Right. See, the old version of the Python. In Python 2, we have long data type to represent very large integral values. In Python 2, of course, that Python 2 is gone. Okay, but now that version, that long data type is removed. But in Python 3, there is no long type explicitly. We can represent long values also by using type using int only. Okay, so there is no long data type. In Python 2, it was there, but now it is removed in Python 3 version. Okay, right. We can also represent int values in different formats like binary format, decimal form, octal form, hexadecimal form. Like this, you can also represent. Okay, right. Hmm. Then what about like float? Float means we can use float data type to represent floating point values. That means to represent decimal values, we are using this float term. So let's say here, if I have like f is equal to 123.45. So if I print type of f, what you will get? You will get class float. You will get class float. Okay, right. See, we can also represent floating point values by using exponential form. Actually, if the value is very big decimal value, so instead of like to represent like, let's say if you take like 1.2, 1.2222 up to a very huge length, and so what you can do is like to represent it in the scientific notation, we are writing like 1.2 E3 kind of thing. And so here Instead of E, we can also use E. Okay. See, basically the exponential form, when you are going to present it, so whenever you have like very lengthy decimal values, that time you can use this length, what is it? This exponential formula. But anyway, okay. So we have data type called complex data type. We have data type called complex data type. See, this complex data type, you will see in the form of like number plus real part plus imaginary part. Generally, let's say if, let's say here 3 plus 4g. If the number is like this, 3 is the real part, 4j is the imaginary part. This total representation is called complex number. So complex number is also one of the data type. Complex number is also one of the data types. Print type of G. This is also one of the data type. Complex. Okay, right. In the real part, if we use int values, then we can specify that either by decimal or octal or binary or hexadecimal form. But imaginary part should be specified only by using decimal form only. Imaginary part that you need to specify only in the decimal format. The real part that you can specify in the binary format or decimal format or hexadecimal format or octal format. You can represent it in any one of the form. But that imaginary part always should be presented in the decimal form only. Decimal form only. Let's say if you are writing like this, A is equal to 2 plus 0 B 2 J. If you are writing like this, see, immediately you are getting compilation error. Now see, end of the statement expected, unresolved reference B to J. Unresolved reference B to J. Okay. So here immediately you are getting this compilation issue. Okay. So the imaginary part should be represented in the decimal format only. You know that bool means either true or false. So these things and all, you know it. See, in the Python, the strings can be represented in three ways. One is a single quote, and the second one is a double quotes, and third one is triple quotes. The third one is triple quotes. Now see, in Python, to have single line comment, we are using this hash symbol like this above, like this. You can write different data types. You can have different data types. Okay. So this is single line comment. Okay. But if I want to write multiple comments, Normally in C, C++, Java, you will have like this. You will write like this. This is multi-line comment. But in case of Python, you don't have like multi-line comment. But if you want to represent this multi-line comment, how do you do that? You are going to have like this, either three quotes. See, within the three quotes, you are going to write the number of lines of code, the number of lines of code. So this is treated as multi-line comment. This multi-line comment also, it is represented as the multi-line. For to represent multiple lines, you are going to use either three single quotes, or you can have this three double quotes. You can have this three double quotes. You can represent like this. Okay. So totally the string can be represented in Python in three ways. One is single quote. One is single quote. Okay. One is single quote. The second thing is double quotes. The second thing is double quotes. And third one is three single quotes, three single quotes or double quotes, three double quotes, three double quotes. So you can represent the string in three ways. Okay, right. Okay, so you know the string type under. Okay, and slicing. Slicing means what? Slice means cutting into multiple parts. Slice means it's a piece. Okay, so definitely, like we are going to work a separate section on the strings concept. It's very, very important. And so here in Python, strings follows zero-based index. Internally, like JavaScript and TypeScript, Python is also treated as strings also like arrays only. Arrays are accessible with the index concept. And the indexes also, you will have like positive index and negative index. Indexes also, you have like positive index and negative index. Positive index means left to right. Negative index means right to left. Okay. So that topic we will talk about in detail. Okay. Right. Okay. So up to this, I'm stopping. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see like practicals with different concepts. Okay. So these things and all we'll see practical. Okay. I'm stopping now.